up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and you're watching the Red Cup Podcast, where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks, because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. And it is Monday. Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you're having a long, good weekend, because I know some of you who work, your government jobs. Well, not your government jobs, but who work your 9 to 5s and who go to work every day might have the holiday off. So if you do, I hope you had a good and long weekend. All right. And the government workers, y'all got to call these people and tell them, get you back to work. Okay. Especially in DC. Okay. Because the liberals are keeping y'all from working. I'm telling you that right now. What's going on, everybody in the chat? I hope you guys definitely had a good weekend. I definitely had a nice long weekend. All right. I have a long weekend all the time, but I actually got to relax a little bit this weekend. So that was a plus for me. How are you guys in the chat? What's going on, AJ Wise? What's going on, Ian? What's going on, Loud and Clear? What's going on, Eric Wealth Harris? What's going on? Y'all care. Your car. What's going on? What's going on, Alicia? What's going on, Amazing? What's that? Amazing Specialty Baskets. All right now. What kind of baskets you make? All right. What's going on, Nick J? What's going on, Brian? I see you guys in here. What's going on, True Patriot? I see y'all pulling up. Got flavor. What's up? All right now. I see you guys. What's going on, Sugar Shane? What's going on, Tyrone? What's going on, Lito? How are you? War Peace, Rick. What's going on with all of you guys? I'm hoping you're having a good day. Y'all ready to get into it? What's going on, Platinum Storm? Y'all be having these these long names, but I know it's something behind it. Like, let me know in the chat what you guys, let me know in the chat what you guys have behind your names. Like, what is the reason behind these names? Okay. I need to know. You make gift baskets. Okay. All right. I like that. Send me an email. Okay. I want to see what kind of gift baskets you got. Send me your website, or send me some photos of something that you have. Okay. Cool beans. All right, you guys. So thank you for pulling up. I want to get started, because when I tell you, it was just so much to talk about. Like, I barely could figure out what I wanted to talk about. So much happened over the weekend. So much has been going on. It's just wild. Okay. And the weekends have I don't know if it's because the fall is coming up. I don't know if it's because, it's getting colder. Usually when the summer is over, people chill. It's just, everything's just going up. I don't know what's happening. The youngest just don't have any chill. Not at all. What's going on, Brian Fisher? Yeah, they don't have any chill. So every weekend lately, for the past maybe 4 to 6 weeks, something is going on, whether politically, whether in pop culture, whether in just the communities, something is going on. All right. And you literally have to say, yeah, I'm going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about that. Maybe a little bit of this, maybe a little bit of that, because it's too much going on. Like, everything is going on at the same time. Like, everything. Like, no BS. Everything is going on at the same time. So we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to get into, of course, Donald Trump. All right. He has the Dems mad because he is the one that have freed the hostages. Okay. And brought peace to the Middle East. They don't like that. Not at all. Okay. The liberals, the white liberals, all of them, they don't like that. Not at all. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into Don Lemon, okay, out there in Chicago showing his glitter bottom, okay? The lemon drops are not happy. And then we're going to get into, some Ratchet Crockett. I'm just let you know that now, okay? You're going to have to hear her voice, okay? You're going to have to hear her voice and see her wig. Fair warning, All right, so we're going to get into that, and we're going to get into a couple of other short stories because you know how we do it here. We get into, our shots, which we're going to get into right now. Okay. Y'all are wilding in the chat. He sure did. Yes, he did. What's up, Mandy? What's up, Ra? Yes. Yes. Don Limon got his you know what handed to him. And we are going to talk about it. I can't wait. But let's go ahead and get into these shots here. All right. So, what I want to get into first is, everybody likes to talk about mass shootings when it comes to things like, people picking up guns and going to, churches and things like that, right? Or when it's the white man, doing these things, but they never talk about it on just a regular local scale because it happens a lot in Chicago and it happens a lot in other places, in other cities and things like that. So I want to get into this mass shooting that happened over the weekend in none other than, of course, Mississippi. All right, because it was wild. And the fact that it happened to young people, preferably high school people, I thought was just awful. So I want to go ahead and get into this story, and then we'll come back and talk about it, you guys. Here we go.
This morning, 9 people are dead and dozens more hurt after 3 separate shootings in Mississippi, all of them happening during homecoming celebrations. Now the FBI is getting involved in one shooting where the search is still on for the suspects.
If you were standing next to somebody and you seen something, man, or you seen somebody who's doing that shooting, man, report that.
Social media footage capturing loved ones outside the Delta Health System's medical center the night of the Leland homecoming mass shooting.
We ask the public to recognize that they have a role in this investigation.
The FBI's Jackson Field office is leading the investigation alongside state and local law enforcement, asking for the public's help to identify these 4 people they say are connected to the shooting.
Speak up, share, give us that opportunity to get these subjects off the street.
The FBI Jackson has also established a digital media tips website to collect any video or photos from anyone that was at the intersection of 4th Street and North Main Street on Friday night.
Better picture. There was a body right here. There were 2 right here. There's one in front of here.
Like Mildred Michael.
All you saw was like people sitting down or standing around crying because they were starting to identify the different people that was laid out.
And so far, Leland's fire chief confirmed the mass shooting took 6 lives with at least 6 others in critical condition.
Tragedy here in the city of Leland, our heart hurt, we mourning, everybody mourning, even for the people that's not from Leland, don't nobody deserve what happened,
Officials say more casualties are possible as the investigation continues, but the search remains active tonight for this woman in a white t-shirt, a man in an orange jacket, another man in an orange and white jogging suit, and a man in a black graphic tee, all seen in the area the moments gunfire let out.
We're going to rise again. Our community is going to get past this. We're going to heal together like we've always done.
This was absolutely ridiculous, okay? When I saw this story, I was just like, what is going on? Okay, these are high school kids. Why are you shooting up the high school? Okay, the YNs is out of control. They're out of control. Why are you shooting up the high school? Yeah, Ian, rise again. All I heard was the South will rise again. That's all I heard. I'm with you on that. But I'm just sitting there like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, the range of people that lost their lives, all right, range from 18 to 40. Everybody is young. You have millennials and Gen Z. Why? Like, why? Absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason in high school you should be having beef this bad. Absolutely no reason. So when I saw it, I like, it was just heartbreaking because these children have absolutely no idea how to do conflict resolution. Absolutely. They don't know how to do it. Okay. Their parents don't, because their parents are like 40, all right, if not younger. And then they don't do it either. All right. They say one thing, they're fighting. So the kids are the same way. And that's what I'm noticing. So I wanted to bring that story to you guys because I just thought that was just absolutely ridiculous. All right. A mass shooting at a high school homecoming, not college, high school. Can't make it up. All right, you guys. So now I want to get into what I thought was wild. All right. Now we all, we all on Chicago's neck. Okay. We all know ICE is not playing. They're not playing. They're coming to arrest all the bad hombres mañana. Okay. Mañana. And so with that being said, you would think people would be on notice, including young people, okay? Because we're going to continue this cycle here of young people just being ratchet. This one right here, you're not going to believe this. This one right here is a 15-year-old running for ICE. Watch. So they're pulling her out of the car.
I can't hear people. It's all back there.
Now, some white liberals inside, of course, recording it.
Yeah, I know. They're at home. I've learned.
All right. So, yeah, and you see she's doing all of that stuff. So you got the white liberals online talking about, okay, they're kidnapping children just like they're kidnapping adults, right? However, she's part of that same group of people, okay, that are out here with the youngins terrorizing. Here in DC, we got a thing with the youngins out here terrorizing, right? Look at this. Okay, this is Fox. So as soon as this happened and went viral online, Fox 32 of Chicago decided to put this out, right? And what does the headline say? Girl, 15 years old, charged in string of Chicago public transit attacks. The liberals never look up the actual story, all right? So here we go. 15-year-old girl has been arrested for more than 5 months of a series of robberies and batteries incidents that took place on the Chicago public transit system. Like, you can't make it up. The kids are out here just doing the most. You can't make it up. The kids are out here doing the most. These are the kids, okay? These incidents occurred back in May and involved 3 female victims. The girl was arrested on October 10th and faced multiple charges and misdemeanors. But the liberals were like, oh, they're stealing minority children. They're stealing immigrant children. I'm just like, you can't make this up. You can't make it up. She's an absolute criminal, Dion. Absolutely. She's an absolute criminal, right? And she's causing terror in the community, just like the older ones. So when ICE comes after these people, they already know who they're coming after. I don't know why liberals keep getting owned. They get owned every time because they don't know how to do research. They see something online, they share it, they open their mouths. They don't even do, a little bit of investigating. Because I told you, the internets, all right? The things that they show that are miseducation, they also show the truth, all right? Speaking of that, I want you guys to see this one as well. We're going to keep it with the quote unquote youngins. This is supposed to be a 6-year-old immigrant child being arrested by ICE. Okay. This is what they put online. The liberals. I want you to see this. Here we go. Okay. So you see it say
Remain silent. Just make sure you remain silent, okay?
Okay, so that means
Don't answer any questions. Just plead the fifth.
and they're saying that she's an immigrant. Okay. So you see all of this. She's 6. Okay. Now, all you had to do was a little digging, just a little bit of digging. Now, I'm a short girl. Okay. I'm 4'10". I'm probably a little shorter than her. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Does that look like a 6-year-old to you? So once you did a little bit of digging, you find out that this is a 26-year-old woman. And this was the arrest. And they also let her go. So I'm assuming they detained her. But when people went to actually go look this, detainment, arrest up, it was a 26-year-old.
Free to go now. Stay out of traffic.
Okay, I will.
Oh, wait.
You can't make it up. You can't make it up. You can't make it up.
Just give me a second.
You can't make it up, you guys.
All right.
This was wild.
Stay out of traffic.
Okay, I will.
It was wild. You can't make it up. It was wild. This is supposed to be a 6-year-old, right? And all you had to do was just go and actually look at the footage, all of the footage. And you would have seen that it was a grown woman. It's a grown woman. Like, you guys can't make it up. Mandy, I swear to goodness, when I saw this, I'm telling you, this weekend was full of nonsense, y'all. It was full of nonsense on my feed. I was just so upset because I'm like, why y'all keep showing me this nonsense? y'all want me to really talk about it because I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. It's absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. But I wanted to show you this because, you guys, this is how the internet works, especially when you're dealing with a group of people that don't like what's going on in the current administration, okay? What's going on with ICE, what's going on in certain parts of the country, whether it's Chicago, whether it's places like DC, of course, but places like California, they don't like what's going on, so they just make up stuff. They just make it up. Okay, 15-year-old, oh, she's being kidnapped. No, she's a criminal. Okay, she's beating up people and robbing people on the trains. Yeah, no, she's a criminal. Lock her up. I told y'all that about the YNs out here in DC. Lock them up. I don't care. Right? And so you have this lady here, same difference, but they're trying to pull on the heartstrings of people, preferably, liberals, but they're trying to pull on the heartstrings of people in general. Right? And all you have to do is just look the stuff up. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But that is our presentation of shorts today. Okay. Like, we cannot be fooled, you guys. We cannot be fooled because here it is. You guys, you have to look this stuff up. You have to actually get the data and the information, because if not, the liberals are going to run around with it. They going to run wild with it. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about the 15-year-old ICE arrest. Okay. Let me know what you think about that, because a lot of people were like, oh, well, they're hurting this child. They're kidnapping her. And she was resisting. So they just put the knee on the on the side of the shoulder and the back, not on her neck. That's why she's up and down like this. Okay. Like, you guys, you have to have discernment, because if not, you'll run with all these crazy stories. Like a 6-year-old child is being arrested by ICE when it is a 26-year-old woman. Okay. And let me know what you think about the Mississippi shooting, which I think is absolutely tragic. Okay. Let me know what you think about it. Let's go ahead and move into our main topics. But before we do, I want to go ahead and get into some of these super chats really quick, because we are going to get into it. All right. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Ali? Thank you so much for the $19.99 super chat, showing you love and support from the Untouchables. Hey, you guys, follow Ali channel. He has a pretty much very interesting channel. I've been on there a couple of times debating the worst of the worst liberals on there, but he is definitely a great content creator. So if you guys are into that, please go and check his channel out. And thank you so much, Ali, for supporting. I appreciate you. And we have C. Will with the $15 super chat. Thank you so much. Mika, loving the show. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And then we have 392Q with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. Showing love from room 9. Room 9 across the bathrooms. Yeah, you was over there with AD across the bathroom. I appreciate you. Thank you. Y'all are wild. Y'all are absolutely wild. But thank you all for the super chats. All right, everybody's in the building. I see you guys. Magnificent Gaming. What's going on? Nick J, Mandy K. Loud and clear. I see you guys. 392Q. All of you guys. Thank you so much for pulling up. C Will, Magnetar. All of you guys. Trace, I see you. Mika Lucas. What's going on? Not a habit. Dion, everybody. All right. I see you guys. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this, you guys. Okay. Because like I told you, these people online, they're absolutely ridiculous. Okay. You guys know I don't like Angela Rye. You guys know I don't like Tiffany Cross. You guys know I don't like Jasmine Crockett. Okay. And everybody is in this next segment. All of those people. I can't stand none of them. And that's because not because they're liberal. I can't stand them because they absolutely are invested in not telling people the truth. Preferably not telling people of color the truth. Preferably not telling Black Americans the truth. None at all. They're not invested in that. They're invested in keeping you dumb. All right. So what's going on with all these people? Well, what's going on is the fact that we had Miss Tiffany Cross. Okay. Miss Tiffany Cross decided that she was going to go pretty much on a rant. Okay, because her and Angela Rye have a podcast along with the other glitter bottom, Andrew Gilliam, who was actually a politician at one point in time. Okay, now he's a disgraced politician. You know why? Now they also had Bakari Sellers on as well. Okay, on this Native Land podcast. All right. But it was what they were talking about that got everybody so riled up. I want to go ahead and get into this because everybody got riled up about what they were talking about. Now, what were they talking about? Of course, Black women, Black men not being on the same page when it comes to voting. And I don't know how, because at a 92 clip, Black women vote for Democrats and Black men were at like 70, 80% voting for Kamala and them. Okay. So I don't understand what her beef is, but we're going to get into this because this was also just outrageous. All right. Here we go.
I think this is a really good opportunity. We talked about the invasion of cities and colleges. I want to throw to one more example. Someone who teeters on the edge quite a bit shows up talking out of both sides of his mouth. He had this to say recently about Jasmine Crockett. Sometimes you get attacked by your own.
How Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work.
He's got to deal with Black woman issues.
Oh my God.
Writ large, and whatever self-hate exists within him.
That is self-hate.
I've never seen a clip of him where he actually praises a Black woman.
That's what I'm saying. He's got Black woman issue he's got to deal with. But
for those who are listening, that was Stephen A. Smith commentating about Jasmine Crockett's lack of work. For context, there was a poll that was recently done, and Jasmine Crockett's approval numbers amongst the American people rival Barack Obama's in 2008. So just for
absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't believe that. Absolutely not. I don't know who did the poll. I don't care. Maybe George Soros and his son. However, I do not believe that Ratchet Crockett absolutely has numbers that rival Barack Obama. Okay? Say what you want about Barack Obama, but Barack Obama had, I guess, an actual charisma, charismatic charm, whatever you want to call it, right? And Barack Obama actually, has some level of intellect. I do not believe that Jasmine Crockett has any. Okay? I believe she's able to pass tests. I believe she's able to go to law school, remember certain things to pass those tests, and then keep going. However, if you look up her record when she was a lawyer, okay, pretty much an ambulance chaser, all right. If you look at her record, she hasn't won any cases. She started off in the public defending. She hasn't won any cases. Okay. She told her boss to hire her because she's Black, and she didn't win any cases. So when all of these people have a problem with this woman who goes somewhere where she's, she's acting as if she's this, hood. I'm ghetto. I'm ratchet, but I'm educated and I'm good enough to be here. Yeah, that's reserved for people like Byron Donalds. Okay, Byron Donalds comes from a hard background. Ratchet Crockett does not. Okay. And she does a horrible job at pretending so. And people that usually come from that background don't want to be stuck there, don't want to even be recognized as that, because they're more than just that. They're more than those stereotypes. Ratchet Crockett just leans into it. And that's because she knows that she's not that. And she can go on and go back to being her regular self when she's done cosplaying. Okay. When she feel like taking off her wig, and when she feels like, taking off those lashes and not being sister girl, she can go back to that life. And this is what she pushes. The people in her district don't have anything. I did a whole episode on that district. It was trash. They don't have anything, but you're playing as if you come from this type of environment. I can't stand that woman, but that is why Angela Rye gets on my nerves, because Angela Rye understands what's going on. She understands the manipulation. Angela Rye isn't stupid. She's just a liberal, which by proxy makes her stupid. But I'm gonna let her finish.
Context. He is on an island unto himself.
Because caping for some.
Because people see her largely working on our behalf. And I also want to say, we recently had Jasmine Crockett on. It was on my solo pod, and Jasmine is on the show talking about having to go get fit for a bulletproof vest. So this is not the time for this.
Yeah.
And it is very dangerous for this. So I hear you even on the danger, even on campuses, but I wanted to bring this in because this is the kind of messaging they're hearing on their sports platforms, on talk radio, all the time. There is a growing divide between Black men and Black women.
Oh my God.
And I think that some of them are also leaning more conservative in their talking points.
She's a congresswoman from Texas, and Texas has this open carry law. Governor Abbott is such a dangerous, problematic person.
He sets up a false argument.
Yes.
How much attention is this taken away from you getting whatever you need for your district? The Republicans control the House of Representatives, the Senate and the White House. They not letting her get ish for her districts. And so the best she can do right now, not just for her district, but for the country, is to speak up and hold them to account at every single level.
Are there Black men that's listening to Stephen A. Bakari?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
but they would take that and take it seriously.
People who like
white men.
Yeah, and they think that
white men.
They think that Jasmine Crockett talks with her neck.
No, I'm not just saying
it's too loud and snaps her fingers and all that, and they caricature her like he's doing.
Yeah.
And so my point though is that I didn't like the back and forth with Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace or whoever it was, right? But
Nancy Mace is the one that got violent. She was the one that said, "Let's take it outside."
I know them both very well.
Taylor Greene.
I know them both very well, and that just because I was in the legislature, so I look at that totally different. However, I will tell you that there is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths, and these individuals, and Ice Cube may be slightly different than the other two, but these individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. There have always been individuals out there which exhibit behaviors of charlatans who utilize, some people are in it for the change and some people are in it for the change. Right. And I think that that's indicative. And they find the easiest path to the front of the line. And Stephen A. Smith is someone who doesn't have the depth to talk about House oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community or what Jasmine is doing. So he rather lampoon her or instead of having a constructive conversation. And so I've said what I've had to say about Stephen A. Smith in my book anywhere I can. I don't have a lot of use for him in the political dialogue. I think that, I think that there are individuals who he matriculated with at Winston-Salem State University that are extremely disappointed about the man.
Child bald-headed reasoning. Here's the thing. When he sits up here and says, there's a lot of people that, don't like what Stephen A is saying. There's a lot of people that don't like this and that and the third. He doesn't understand. What they're saying is they don't want somebody to challenge somebody like Ratchet Crockett. Okay. They don't want somebody challenging Ratchet Crockett. They want Ratchet Crockett to be able to say whatever she wants to say. Okay. They want her to be able to convey whatever she wants to convey when they all know that this woman hasn't created one piece of legislation. Okay. You have Sassy over there. And I'm not talking about even Bakari Sanders. I'm over there talking about, Andrew. Okay. Miss Andrew. All right. Who we know has had a crazy time when it comes to his candidacy. However, when he talks as if Jasmine Crockett or somebody is stopping Jasmine Crockett from actually presenting some type of legislation. Nobody stops her. Nobody stops anyone up on the Hill. She hasn't created anything because she doesn't know what to create. What is she going to create? What is she going to create? What is she actually willing to do for people of TX30? Absolutely nothing. She's been there 2 years and hasn't done anything, hasn't put her name on anything, doesn't sponsor anything. Like, what is she doing? What work does she do? What does she do? What does she do other than yell and scream? But we are the problem for calling it out. It makes absolutely no sense.
He's become.
It's so disheartening to me. It's frustrating, one, because anytime we speak on this, it's like we, man haters and all this. I feel such confidence in Black men. I've never bought into the idea that all these Black men are voting for Trump. Like, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. We're pretty much in line with each other. What you all are saying is no, they are, and the data shows that there have been inroads among Black men. I want to ask why, because it is frustrating to me, and it feels heartbreaking, to be honest, because we are impacted by this system as well. It's not a matter of who's impacted worse. We're impacted differently. We sit at the intersection of being Black and being women.
Oh, God.
And so when men are frustrated with this system, it feels like they fight us. And I would put Stephen A. Smith in that category too. I'm mad at y'all for having joy. I'm mad at y'all for having success. I'm mad at y'all for surpassing us on college campuses. And so it's a small sect of men that are so angry and hurt that they're willing to align with the people who oppress us. What am I getting wrong? Because if you listen to Stephen A. Smith and you find anything other than some absolute pure self-hating little dick energy nonsense from that half-witted idiot basking in the non-existent rays of his own ignorance, it is sad to me that he even gets an audience of Black men. Why aren't Black men right now saying, Stephen A. Smith, we banning him, we not listening to his podcast, we're not watching his show anymore? That's what Black women do. We organize.
Yeah, but they're
because, and I swear on everything, I know awesome Black women, okay? And it is not all. But these liberal Black women, the reason why she just said what she said is because they're stupid. They're absolutely stupid. Okay. They rather have representation of somebody that looks like them, might mirror them, than actually have policies. They're absolutely dumb. They're absolutely dumb. Dumb. All of them over there with that 92%, they're absolutely stupid. And this is why I say this, all right? The reason why I say this is because they don't understand how mathematics works, okay? You give one person your vote. You've been doing that for 60 plus years. You haven't gotten anywhere. You didn't get anything then, and you don't have it now. I don't care if you call it civil rights or DEI. It didn't help you. The biggest employer for Black women is the government. So if the federal government doesn't bloat, you have no job. So how in the absolute world are you doing better? She said, oh my God, because we have success. Ma'am, you don't even have a job. You got fired on your day off, just like Joy Reid. I have absolutely no idea what she's talking about. It makes Black women look crazy. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why, like, you have to call this stuff out, because she makes Black women look crazy. It's nasty work. It's nasty work. Oh, why don't y'all follow me? Because who's following you? Who is following you? First of all, you want to vote for a woman that isn't even Black. Okay? Why don't y'all go vote for Stacey Abrams? I know why you won't vote for Stacey Abrams, but you wanna go vote for the the quote unquote mulatto. Okay, you want to vote for that, but you don't really want to vote for an actual Black woman. But you make the Black woman do all the work. Okay, poor Stacey. However, you got that going on, and then the woman absolutely is a dummy. Okay. The woman is stupid. The man that she was a side piece to said, hey, you out of your league. Won't you go be the attorney general or something of the United States or something? Stay over there. Okay. And that man pretty much know you better than anybody. All right. He know you better than Dougie, because Dougie over there following behind you. Meanwhile, the dude you was the side piece to told you that you were out of your league, that you need not to go and try to be vice president, let alone president. Okay? You can only say 5 sentences. How is that supposed to be the leader of the free world? But Black women want everybody to follow them. Absolutely not. Liberal Black women are out of their mind. They're absolutely out of their mind. And I don't give you know what who don't like it. They're out of their mind. Okay? They're only second to liberal white women. Because liberal white women are just they're on a whole nother level. Forget Israel and Palestine. The war is between, liberal white men and liberal white women. Okay? That's the real war. Because they absolutely are running amok. And Black women who are on the liberal side want to mirror that. They want to mirror that. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy how much they can just sit here and say this. And then you have cucks like, Bakari Sailors and, Andrew Gilliam, who we know fancies himself adjacent to women. And so with that being said, they don't give any pushback. They don't give anything to say what's wrong, what's right, how you should move. Like, no pushback at all. She's talking about Stephen A. Smith, but Stephen A. Smith is a liberal. Stephen A. Smith is not a Trump supporter. But just like Bill Maher, he can see through that nonsense. Y'all are wild. Y'all are absolutely wild and stupid. Absolutely wild. And at the end of the day, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to reset. Conservative Black women, conservative Black men, you're going to have to reset and get and push these liberal ones to the side. Like they're not on the same team. They're not in the same boat. When I tell you, you got to separate yourself. You got to separate yourself. Okay? Just like liberal Latinos, they don't sit with the conservative Latinos. Okay? You can't do it. It can't be done. Because if you do it, you end up following behind these women. You end up strolling to the polls and getting nothing for your vote. Oh, a woman's right to choose. A woman's right to choose is already settled. What are we voting for? What are we voting for? What are we voting for? Absolutely nothing. And this is why I can't stand it. And then last but not least, she's doing this name calling and things like that. She has a lot that we could talk about, okay? A whole lot. But if we did that, oh, it's misogyny. It's internalized misogyny. Or if I do it, oh, you are so male identified. All of this nonsense to take away from somebody making sense about a woman who's just absolutely ridiculous. And I'm talking about Ratchet Crockett. That woman is absolutely ridiculous. About the dumbest thing alive. She's out of her league also, okay? She's just like Kamala. Out of her league. Out of her league. It makes black women look ridiculous. Because when you have black women like Condoleezza Rice, okay, who's smart and actually like knows policy, knows government, has actual credentials. They don't listen to her though. They want to talk about her hair. They want to talk about how she looks. Meanwhile, Jasmine Crockett, how does she look? Okay. Absolutely ridiculous. But that is what, Tiffany and company had to say. I'm sorry I went on the rant. I'm just tired. I'm tired of these chicks. I'm so sick of them. Like, I'm absolutely tired of them. Eric, you wow. I'm so sick of them. So let's move on. Let's move on. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. I'm not even gonna say nothing. Just look at it. Look at it. Okay. This who they want you to follow. Absolutely not. So let's move on to this. Okay. So lo and behold, Ratchet Crockett goes on a podcast. And because that's her job. She goes on a tour of podcasts, MSDNC 13, China News Network, all that good stuff, right? That's what she does. She doesn't do legislation. Okay. Legislation is at the bottom of her list. All right. I'm just saying. She goes on a podcast to do what she does best. Talk about Trump, just like the rest of them. But it was the stuff that she was saying, okay, when she wanted to talk about the shutdown. Anytime she talks about the shutdown, anytime she talks about the illegals, any of this stuff, it's never any pushback. All right. Because here's the thing. A lot of liberals just don't know. Now, they could go and look it up for themselves, but they entrust these dummies to actually tell them the truth. And she purposely misleads these people. I want you guys to see what Ratchet Crockett and company, okay, because this one, child, look at her. I want you guys to see what they had to say on this podcast, okay? I want you guys to see what Tiffany wants you to follow, the person and the people that rival Barack Obama, all right? I want you guys to see what they had to say. Here we go.
Right, and so you're talking about the lack of qualifications. They have somehow tried to do everything that they can to make the face of all inadequacies be people of color. Basically anybody that's not white, male, straight, and probably rich. Everybody else supposedly is inferior in some way. Again, this white supremacy ideology, but when you look at it, I may be an amazing attorney, and frankly, I would say I am. I get sit in a courtroom, okay?
Let the record reflect.
Yes, let the record reflect.
Yes, let the record reflect.
But you don't want to see me in the operating room. That's not where my training came from, right? Exactly. So the fact that you take a podcaster and you make him over the FBI.
Ma'am, you literally have a podcast. You literally have a podcast. What the hell is she talking about? I can't with this woman. The woman is dumb, okay? She's absolutely stupid. And let the record show. I just talked about the fact that she don't win no cases. Let the record show that she don't win no cases. She's just going to take your money.
The fact that you take a wrestling woman and you make her over education. I mean, I do want people to recognize what's happening, or all these Fox News hosts, and throwing them into, like you played a judge for a while on TV or something.
Ma'am, she played a judge. So we get to see you on TV and you get to tout the fact that you are a lawyer. You get to tout it, even though you had no winning cases, you get to tout it. But an actual judge who goes on a TV program is called a TV judge. Judge Mathis is a TV judge, but he actually was a judge. This guy about the dumb.
So now you the U.S. attorney prosecuting people. Like, I mean, you know, it is absolutely insane.
We laugh, but that is a real thing that's out here happening in the United States of America.
These are very real things. When we see what is happening at the Department of Transportation, when we see all these near misses, when we see that we are constantly plagued with planes being down and not being able to take off. I mean, we've gotten to
what is a plane being down and not being able to take off? My God, she's dumb. Like the glue has sinked in the brain. Okay, got to be glue is blocking her whole third eye, because absolutely not. What are you saying, ma'am? Are you talking about what? What are you talking about? I think she's trying to say that, you know, the FAA is having all of these issues with, you know, transportation and aviation, which they were having under Pete Buttigieg. Okay? Transportation Secretary Buttigieg, he absolutely was one of the worst. That's where it started. And everybody else got to come behind it and clean up. Absolutely was one of the worst. So I don't understand what she's talking about. The plane situation was inherited. Okay, you got all of these people that shouldn't be in these positions, but there is Ratchet Crockett trying to blame it on Donald Trump. I don't know why, but that's what she's doing. Absolutely not.
the point that, you know, people are not connecting the dots in that they are intentionally trying to dumb down and reduce the amount of positive influence that these people have by making sure you don't have anybody disqualified. So they are literally making it seem as if these are jobs that anybody can do. So I'm gonna just throw random people in, and they are putting us all in harm's way. And I need people to understand that your whiteness ain't gonna be able to save you from some of the hell that we are experiencing, whether it is the tariffs and the cost, whether it is the economy and the lack of jobs. Like, you have to decide when you are going to say, you know what, forget everything else. I just want actual qualifications. And if everyone decided to look at resumes and ignore everything else, there was only one conclusion. I'm not saying this because I'm a Democrat. I'm saying this because I literally gave a speech at the DNC where I talked about how one had a resume and the other one had a rap sheet. Mm-hmm. And in the real world, you put those two resumes down for any job, whether it's at Walmart or Target, which we, you know, whether you put it down for one of the two, I can tell you which one not gonna get the job.
Speaking of resumes, and some people do not know that you are a former elected.
And we don't care. So here's the thing. Ratchet Crockett is trying to say that Donald Trump is a felon. So therefore, y'all should have picked Kamala Harris, the woman who is invested in locking up not only just Black people, invested in locking up Black mothers, preferably Black single mothers, the ones that the Democrats say, oh my God, they need our help. Kamala was interested in throwing those women in jail. Absolutely not. Why would somebody put her in? Why would they vote for her? Why? Because she was more interested in making the state of California more money via the students, okay? Making them more money versus actually looking at the problem with truancy. It's absolutely insane why somebody would put Kamala anywhere. Kamala is not a competent person, let alone a competent candidate for vice president or president. Okay? And Democrats saw that. She didn't get the votes that Democrats could have gotten. And that's because nobody thinks that woman is competent. Nobody. One spot one is not going to get it. But that's what the Democrats want us to think. That's what they want to run on. So last but not least, she gets into this whole rant about the government shutdown, right? She gets into this rant and she goes and says, you know, she doesn't know. I'm going to just let her rant. Here we go.
I want to talk about two more things before we let you out of here. I want to talk specifically about the budget. We know right now that there is a debate about funding the government. I've been a little bit confused because Republicans, last time I checked, are in control of the House of Representatives.
You ain't
They're
confused.
in control of the Senate, and then the president signs the bill. Okay, but I've heard people suggest that Democrats somehow have the ability to shut the government down. So can you please educate the people on what's happening?
No, you are not confused.
Okay, all right,
You are a
thank you.
lawmaker. You understand how this works.
Oh, come on.
And, you know, Republicans don't know how to count. But here's the thing. You know, when you're in a legislative body, you control everything. So if the government shuts down, it's on y'all. Just like the last government shutdowns we had were under this same president. In fact, the longest that we've ever had in the history of this country came at the feet of this president. I don't know why so many people had amnesia when they decided to go out and vote for this again, but we knew we were going to get more chaos and dysfunction. So no, you in control, do what you do, big boy. Let's see what happens. And so, you know, I cast my no vote because ain't nobody come at me and ask me what the people in my district need. Right. They didn't ask me what would look good for those in South.
Y'all can't hear it? Hold on, you guys. Let me make sure. Hold on, let me remove it. And then bring it back. You can't hear it? Probably a good thing. Hold on, let me bring it back in. Like, she's just sitting here just saying the most asinine stuff. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear it now.
Dallas, they didn't ask me about that. So listen, I got people that I serve that are counting on me to do their work and to be their voice and not work for him. I don't work for him. He can't hire me. He can't fire me. The people that elected me in Texas 30 did. So unless you want to have a conversation with me about the priorities for the people in my district, baby, you're not getting this vote. Listen, he can do whatever he wants to do, but this will be on the Republicans. I need people to tune in and learn how to count and learn who controls what. If you want things to function, maybe put the Democrats back in control. Now, I know
that's not happening. So you guys, I just wanted to show you that because Tiffany Cross would like you to believe, that we don't like Jasmine Crockett because she is a black woman. No, we don't like her because she's an idiot. We don't like her because she's a liar, okay? We know that it takes 60 votes and the Republicans don't have 60 votes in the Senate. So they need Democrats. Democrats know that. So guess what they do? They don't vote. If you don't vote, you are the one keeping the what? Government shut down. We know how to count. Most people have at least a 6th grade education. Okay. You learn arithmetic about 3rd. So at the end of the day, that woman is a detriment to not only her district, but to the United States Congress, because there are more like her. Okay. You got bald-headed Ayanna Priestley. She's the same way. Okay. You got the squad. You got AOC. That's another dummy. All right. These people are absolutely invested in keeping everybody dumb. And they're absolutely invested in pretty much leaving the American people exactly how they are. The government shut down and everything. That is what we are messing with right now. So again, I don't know what Tiffany Cross and Angela Rye are talking about. At the end of the day, nobody's following that woman. That woman is absolutely stupid. That woman is dumb. We get nothing for our vote if we actually went and followed that woman. All right. And all of you men that strolled to the polls because your woman told you to, I'm sure you have changed. I'm sure you have learned your lesson. Okay, because I know you live in one of these liberal states like I do in the state of Maryland, okay, that absolutely will tax you to death and give you absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about not only Ratchet Crockett and all that nothing, 10 minutes of nothing. 10 minutes of nothing. She said absolutely nothing. Okay. But let me know what you think about what she said on that podcast, talking about Donald Trump, talking about the shutdown, just talking about the administration in general. And then let me know what you think about Tiffany Cross saying that Stephen A has little d energy. Okay. That he is, aligning himself with the conservatives and he should be aligning himself with the Democrats, giving one party your vote so they know they have you in lockstep. So they know they have you and don't have to do anything for you because they don't have to vie for your votes because you're going to vote for the white liberal at a 92% clip. You can't make this stuff up. Let me know what you think about it. All right. Like, I can't with these people. You guys, let me go ahead and do some of these super chats because these people are just out of control. All right, here we go. Super chats. All right, Jay the Legend. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Mika, who trying to shoot Ratchet Crockett? Absolutely nobody. But here's the thing. They all get fitted for the vest. Okay. When you sign up to be a congressperson, you get fitted for a vest. You choose to wear it or not. It is what it is. That's it. So she, like everybody else, got fitted. So what? Absolutely not. Yeah, I already know what you're talking about. That's wild, right? Oh, well, she might get shot. Girl, please. Insane take. I can't stand these simps. These simp A ninjas. Okay, co-signing this goofiness. Yeah, well, again, you got one that's adjacent, he's a Don Limon, and you got the other one that just has bullheaded reasoning, and he can't help himself. All right. Some of these liberal men cannot help themselves. They have to follow the woman's lead. Okay. That's just how they raised. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Oh, they got on my nerves today, child. Haitian Lover. Thank you so much for $2 super chat. Love watching your show. Stay blessed. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then we have Rod, the one and only. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Mika, people who think like Tiffany Cross is what's actually holding the Black community back. Absolutely. Absolutely. They want you to stroll to the polls. And then when you stroll to the polls and get nothing for it, they want to say, oh, well, it's the Republicans' fault when no Republicans are in these Democratic cities. Not one. Absolutely. But that is the lie that they'll keep telling you. Of course. Thank you so much for the super chats. I appreciate it, you guys. All right. Now that I am done with that rant, because that woman irks my soul, I'm telling you. She irks my everlasting life. All right. From one sassy person to another. Don Limon. Okay, we got to talk about Don Limon. Don Limon knows absolutely nothing. Don Limon is a content creator. Now, here's the thing. I think the content, being the man on the street, I think it's good content, but I don't like Don Lemon. Okay. Don Limon is the worst type of liberal. All right. He's right up there with the rest of them. Okay. Ratchet Crockett, Joy Reid, all of them. Okay. Don Limon benefits from telling his audience a bunch of lies. Okay. Long gone are the days of Don Limon on the China News Network talking about, pull up your pants, black man, or how about, we stop having out of wedlock babies, black women, don't do this to your babies. Black men, go to school, do the, things that can actually help your community, right? No, gone all those days. Everything is white supremacy. Everything is white man. Meanwhile, he is a bottom to a white man. Absolutely insane. Doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. But that is a Don Limon and his story. Okay. However, Don Limon is just a fraud. And I want to call that out because Don Limon decides that he is going to tell people that actually, have gone through the struggle, have gone, through being an immigrant to this country. And he decides that he's going to tell them, what's right and what's not. So I want you guys to see this, because Don Lemon has to be, I'm telling you, the worst type of liberal. Here we go.
Okay.
But originally from Mexico, so I kind of know what's going on.
Okay, but you don't live in Chicago.
No, we don't live in Chicago.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. It's nice to meet you.
But we are for immigration, though. I mean, they have to do it legally, and they have to do it the right way. Mexico right now is doing mass deportations on all the people that stayed illegally,
Right.
because that's how you manage a country. And it's not about hating people. Myself as an immigrant, it's just about doing things the right way.
Yeah. I understand that, but we don't like people being roughed up. America
We don't like people
doesn't
being
do that. America's about due process. And if you're going to come to this country, of course you need to do it legally, you need to follow the things. But in America, if you're going to go and pick someone up, you have to have due process. You've got to have a warrant.
Absolutely not.
You got to show them that there is a reason to do it. There is, you know what I'm saying? And so maybe in Mexico that's different, but we don't beat up.
So hold on. Don Lemon is saying maybe in Mexico they can beat up people and they cannot give them due process. So Don Limon, are you saying that Mexico and their presidente is criminal? Because that's what it sounds like to me. But anytime Donald Trump has talked about it, you say that he's demonizing Mexicans.
Our people up here. We're not supposed to.
Mexico is in North America, so North America is a continent. So you do have to do things the right way, and anywhere.
But Mexico doesn't go by the same rules that we do. We're the biggest democracy in the country, in the world, and we believe that we treat people humanely here.
No, I get that, and the thing is that when you come from a country that is not the U.S., you really see the blessing coming to a country that has freedom, a country that gives.
I completely agree with you, but you also see the way that you should not treat people. And I don't think people are protesting out here because they're upset that that they believe that people should just come over illegally. I think they're upset because of the way that they are doing it and that they are not going through the people. If you want to come to Chicago and you want to bring in the National Guard, you have to talk to the local officials and get their approval. That's how it works here. And you cannot just pick someone up and say, I'm going to grab you, whether they are undocumented or not,
Totally.
or documented or not.
Now there's a way that you want to be treated correctly.
Right. So I think that's why people are protesting.
Yeah, and I agree with that, that's good, and that applies anywhere. It doesn't matter what country, that applies everywhere.
I agree.
You want to be treated the way that you want to treat others.
Right. But if you come, you want to do it the proper way if you want to come.
Exactly. And that's anywhere. So I think that also people need to understand that, because a lot of them have signs that said, no human is illegal. But once you enter the wrong way, doing it the proper way, you're breaking the law. And I think that we need to see both sides of it.
That's not a criminal act. And the president is a criminal, and he's in the highest office in the land. Coming over and being undocumented is not a criminal act. It does not deserve someone to be pushed to the ground and handcuffed. It's not. And so if you live, let me just tell you, I just said to be honest with you. If you come from a place like Mexico or whatever, you're from Mexico?
Yes.
If you come from a place like Mexico, you're right. We have amazing opportunities in this country. And the reason we have those is because we have a constitution where we treat people humanely, and we believe in immigration and people coming over. Not everybody comes over and they're going to do it the same way. Sometimes people come over under desperate situations and they need to get out.
Child, don't nobody care. Nobody cares. Okay, Mexico has a constitution too, and you have to follow the law. Mexico is deporting them right now. Okay, you come over from Honduras, you come over from Cuba, you come over from any of those places, you going back home mañana. Okay. I don't understand. The president over there says the same thing. Okay? What she says on the news here and what she says over there are two different things. Okay? Absolutely not. Don Lemon is an idiot. This woman is from Mexico. She immigrated here legally. How are you going to tell her?
And we have to understand that. But the reason that we have all these things and that you love America is because people have due process. Is because we don't treat people inhumanely. It's because we don't beat people up. It's because we don't throw people in detention centers in horrible conditions. That's why you love America. If we did that, then we would be the same as the places people are coming from, looking for more freedoms and more opportunities.
I also see a dark side of it, though, because now you see cities like California, Chicago.
You mean Los Angeles? States like California.
Yes, exactly. States like California with cities like Los Angeles and other parts of California, Chicago, and then you see Portland, and then you see all these other places where people are just breaking the law constantly, and they're just getting a slap on the wrist and sent their way. And
where's it? Portland, there's no emergency, there's no crime. In all of these cities that you're talking about, crime is down.
Okay, when you see
always have issues with crime in big cities.
When you see those videos on TV of people just going in stores and stealing merchandise and just running out with
that shouldn't happen, but what does that have to do with immigration?
What I'm saying is that it has to do a lot with immigration, because you are saying that crossing illegally is not a crime. They're not breaking the law. That's my thing. If you
not a crime.
Go to Japan and try to do it illegally, and I guarantee you,
we don't live in Japan. That's the thing.
Okay, but
do you want to live under Japanese rule? That you're making my point. You don't want to live under a dictatorship.
What I'm trying to tell you is that America is heading that way, because we're only giving slaps on the wrist instead of enforcing the law. So when
there are things that we need to work with, but we cannot brutalize people and not give them due process. Do we need to work on people who don't serve enough time in jail and other things? Absolutely. But that is not the same as immigration. And that, look, I think people should come here the right way. But also, I'm not in a dire situation where I'm going to judge how someone comes in the country when they are in fear of their lives or they have no opportunities. I'm not going to judge how they
told me the president is a criminal, so that's judging.
No, I'm not judging. That's fact. How's that judging?
Okay, crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. Okay. It's a misdemeanor.
So why are they being sent back and saying that they're breaking the law?
That's the point.
Okay, as somebody that
we don't know if they're breaking the law because they won't tell. There's no due process. Where's the evidence? That's the whole point. And if they are breaking the law, most people will say, okay, then they need to go if they're criminals. But if they're not, why are they being rounded up and sent out? Especially when he promised to deport the criminals, and now he's not doing that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going.
Misdemeanor is not a crime.
Yeah.
So misdemeanor is not a crime?
It's not a criminal act. No, if you get charged with a misdemeanor, that's not a criminal act.
Why get charged at all then, if it's not a criminal act?
Because we have different levels of crime. Everything is not the same.
So it is crime.
No,
it's just
we have
levels.
different levels of. I shouldn't say crime, but it's not. It's not a crime. You're not breaking the law. I mean, you are breaking the law, but it's not a criminal act.
Child, shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up. So it's a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor, you can only get one if you commit a crime. Okay. And then he goes and says, well, you're not breaking the law. Well, how did you get the misdemeanor? How did you get it? You had to break the law. You may not have done something that is a threshold of, like unaliving somebody, but sir, you broke the law. It's a misdemeanor, right? So you broke the law. And of course, we have a U.S. code for it. Okay? Number 8, USC. I don't understand. It literally says it is illegal. Illegal. ILL. Ill. He knows prefixes. He knows suffixes. He understands root words, right? Yeah. It means that it's wrong. You're not supposed to do it. So I don't know what Don Lemon is talking about. And then this woman is sitting here saying, okay, then why are we detaining these people? And he's like, I don't know. Don Lemon is the worst kind of liberal. Okay. He's so disingenuous. He knows that it's illegal. He sounds like Ratchet Crockett when she goes and says, well, all criminals haven't committed a crime, or I don't know. That is the dumbest thing ever. Okay. And what they fail to tell people is that they are processing this administratively. Okay. It's still a crime. To give an example is if you get caught driving without a license. You might not get locked up. They might give you a ticket and tell you to appear in court. You have committed a crime. They're just going to go about it administratively. So they're saying, hey, you did this. It's against the law. Now show up for court. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. It's still a crime. Just because I process it differently does not make it not a crime. It's illegal to drive without a license, without insurance. It's illegal. But I'm not going to throw you in jail for it. So I'm just going to give you a ticket. And yeah, you come to court and tell me why you did it. You pay restitution. And then boom, bada bing, you go get your license and it's all good. Okay? They're dealing with it the same way. They're saying, hey, oh, okay, you crossed the border illegally. I'm not going to detain you. I'm going to give you this court notice, tell you to appear in court, and why did you jump over the border, and why did you come over here? Oh, I want to seek asylum. Oh, okay. Well, you got to tell a judge in 2 years, and then they don't show up for court. But it is illegal. It's illegal. I don't know what Don Lemon is talking about. He sounds absolutely stupid for somebody that's like 95 years old. I don't know what Don Lemon is talking about. It's asinine. And then she's like, well, then what are we doing? What kind of country do we have if nobody gets the part of the laws? He's like, well, you know, you can't just treat people anyway. Yes, I can. You broke the law. I get to deport you. You came over here illegally. And it's always the liberals. Because Don Lemon didn't have nothing to say when they were when Martha's Vineyard got him up out of there. Okay, they sent him to Obama's house. Oh, Martha's Vineyard got him up out of there quick. They had nothing to say about that. Nothing. Why couldn't they stay there? It's a nice place. They do the jobs that nobody else do. Okay, let Maria and Jose go ahead and do the landscaping in Martha's Vineyard. They do the job that nobody else want to do. Martha Vineyard has a big old vineyard. Let them pick the fruit and take care of the crops, all that there. No, they don't want to have it because they know better. White liberals and people married to white liberals are just the worst. Absolute worst. Don Lemon is just ridiculous. I'm going to let him finish this point.
Breaking the law. No, you're not breaking the law.
The misdemeanor is not breaking the law.
No.
If you're speeding, drinking, get pulled over, DUI.
That's not a criminal act. Well, no, if you're speeding is a misdemeanor.
It's a criminal
act. So still breaking the law.
Okay, well, if you want to qualify that, we're doing semantics. But what I'm saying, but what I'm trying to tell you is everything is not the same. It's all not one thing.
But is it the law?
What is it? The law that what?
Is it a law to come over legally? Is there a law?
There are rules that processes that you should follow. Yeah, so you're breaking rules. You're breaking the rules, but you're not necessarily breaking a law.
So what happens when you break the rules?
Then you suffer the consequences. But the consequences should not. Look, no one is saying no one should suffer the consequences. You guys are getting things mixed up. Okay?
No, we're not.
What we're saying is that you should not be brutalized or beaten up or treated inhumanely for even if a criminal act in America.
Just for any law.
For any law, whether it is the highest in the land, you still have due process. You're still innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely not.
Right.
No, we agree with all that.
But what's happening now is guilty until no proven. It doesn't matter. You're just guilty.
It's on both sides.
He is guilty. He came here illegally.
If you're going after someone that's breaking the law, right? So speeding or whatever, and they're lawfully pulling over and obeying your command, right? Then there's no issue. Are they going after people that are like calm and gentle?
Yes.
They are?
Yeah, they're not
resisting at all?
These people are, you just grab people and say, get on the ground and get in the car. And then someone will say, well, for what?
They don't have warrants at all?
No.
It's what he was saying, yeah.
They don't have warrants at all?
No warrants.
No, when it comes
Are you watching? Are you paying attention?
No, I don't.
We're watching both
I don't
sides.
believe the news.
No,
I can't watch the news.
Don Lemon couldn't talk to my man like that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Am I paying attention to what? I'm paying attention to the fact that you sassy. I'm paying attention to the fact that you want to say and talk about white supremacy when you're married to a whole white man. Like, stop. Okay, you race bait all day, and then you want to erase that side when it comes to you. right? You sit here and talk about, other minorities like they're slaves, essentially. The way that liberals talk about immigrants and illegal migrants and illegal aliens, it's preposterous. Like, why would a group of people ever vote for these people? Okay. They talk about black people like they're crazy. They talk about the illegals that they claim to love like they're crazy, right? The Democrats have to be the worst group of people. Worst group of people. Like the worst. Okay. But that is the argument that man had with, that woman there. And I'm telling you right now, Don Lemon is just the worst. Now, really quick, while we're on Chicago, I want to show you guys this, because Don Lemon can go talk to the mayor in Chicago. Don Lemon can go out in the street and spread all of these lies, but real journalists are put out, okay? Especially ones that ask the right questions.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Nope. Sir, you're not allowed upstairs. You need to step back. You cannot go upstairs.
This is my media credential.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. What are you saying?
You're not allowed upstairs.
Say that again, please.
You're not allowed upstairs.
And why am I not allowed upstairs? So you're going to. Hello, my name is William J. Kelly.
Yes,
I'm a reporter. I'm a credentialed reporter.
But I need you to step away from my screening area.
Okay.
Okay.
You see, I'm doing whatever you say.
Yeah. So you're not allowed upstairs.
And why am I not allowed upstairs?
I was told you cannot go upstairs. Okay?
And why not?
That's my job.
I'm a credentialed reporter in the city of Chicago.
Too many questions.
I'm going to have to talk to somebody from the press office. This does deserve some kind of a response. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but please let me know what you think should be the legal response to this.
So if you guys don't know, this reporter here, okay, always goes to Mayor Mohawk's press conferences, okay? And he asks all the pertinent questions all the time. All of the time. They talk about this is an authoritarian government and this and that and the third. And you look at it, these Democrats they don't want to get the hard questions. Not at all. Okay. They talk about Donald Trump doesn't like hard questions. No, they don't like hard questions. Because how are you a sanctuary city? That is against federal law. How are you a sanctuary city? How are you stealing money from the actual residents of Chicago? These are questions that they don't want to answer. But meanwhile, Don Lemon's allowed to do all this nonsense. It's absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. It doesn't make any sense. But this is what's happening on the streets of Chicago. Don Lemon gets to go out and spread his sassy lies. Okay. He gets to report to all his lemon drops about nonsense, about nothing. Everything is white supremacy. Everything is white people's problems. Everything is the fault of Donald Trump. Everything is just, Gestapo this, Hitler that. It's just stupid. I wish people would stop voting for these people. Because the black people in Chicago now want these people out. Because now they see what illegal immigration does. Okay. That's why you have Chicago Flips Red, which I love those ladies over there. You have Chicago Flips Red. You have other groups and you have other people running as Republicans. Because immigration is a thing that not only affects the people that are legally here as immigrants, it affects the citizens that are born here. It affects them. It affects people that are already in poverty. And it even affects the illegal immigrant because they're going to work you to death for pennies on a dollar. They're not going to pay you what you're worth. And now you drop the wages for everybody. And on top of that, while you may be the one immigrant that comes over and want to do something right, you're now allowing everybody in the world to come in as well. For every good, quote unquote, good illegal immigrant, you got Trinidad, you got MS-13 members, you got all of these people coming in, you got the Venezuela gangs, like you got all of this stuff. It's just stupid. It's absolutely dumb. Oh yeah, I see that there's the No Kings rally. I see it. Trust and believe it. Trust and believe it. I saw it. But you guys, that is what's going on with Don Lemon in Chicago. Okay, Don Lemon is just absolutely out of his mind. Like he's out of his mind. Okay. He got into some other altercations and some other things going on. But when I tell you, Don Lemon is trash, Don Lemon is trash. But you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about all of that. Okay. What do you think about Don Lemon sitting over there telling a Mexican immigrant what it's like to be a Mexican immigrant, what it's like to be someone that comes over here from Mexico, and what it's like to do things the right way, and why someone couldn't do it the right way? You can't make it up. And then let me know what you think about the reporter not being able to get up to the press conference, even though he's a registered member of the press in Chicago. You can't make it up. Can't make it up. Let me go ahead and read the super chats. Spaces, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. I wish I knew he was doing interviews in Chicago. I would have flamed and grilled him so bad. He would have had to put the interview out. What a pure idiot. Yeah. Don Lemon, because I do content, I have to subscribe so I can keep up with stuff. Okay. So I can keep up with people. But yeah, Don Lemon pretty much puts out where he's going. Okay. So I don't know if you want to do that to your algorithm and put Don Lemon in, but you could follow him to see where he's going, just to flame him. Okay. But that's what he does. So he does tell where he's going. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. All right. So you guys, last but not least, because I like to keep it no longer than an hour and 30. So last but not least, I want to get into Donald Trump. Okay. I want to get into this because I am just glad that at least this part is over, right? Because regardless of what side you're on, because I know there are some Free Palestine people, I know there are some, I stand with Israel people, but everybody can agree that war is awful. Okay. War is awful. I don't like seeing innocent children, babies, all of that. I don't like seeing people's loved ones be hostages. I don't like seeing any of that. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. And we're in 2025. There's absolutely no reason that we should still be dealing with this type of stuff. It's sad. It's honestly sad. All right. But I want to go ahead and get into this. Let me go ahead. Jeffrey Rice, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, you guys. What'd you say? Go 2 hours. I'm gonna get there. I'm pushing 130 right now. I'm gonna get there though. I'm gonna get there. But you guys, let's go ahead and get into this because Donald Trump did not get the Nobel Peace Prize. We know that, right? Donald Trump didn't get it, and he should have got it. However, the Nobel Peace Prize winner said that Donald Trump deserves it, and she dedicates her award to him. And the liberals are absolutely livid about it, which makes me happy. All right, here we go. I want you guys to see this. All right.
And tell our viewers why you decided to dedicate this award to President Donald Trump.
Tell us, girl.
Thank you very much, Rachel, and to all of you for what you have done for Venezuela. And they decided to dedicate it to President Trump because he deserves it. Because not only has he been involved in only a few months in solving 8 wars, but his actions have been decisive to have Venezuela now at a threshold of freedom. after 26 years of tyranny that have destroyed the lives of millions of Venezuela, destabilized the region, and undermined the institutions in the United States, because having Venezuela as a safe haven of the enemies of the United States and using our territory and our resources to hurt the American people and American institutions is certainly a threat to the national security of the United States and the security of the hemisphere. But President Trump has been very clear, courageous in terms of dismantling this criminal structure. And on behalf of the Venezuelan people, I reaffirmed our gratitude and our commitment to this cause for the whole America. So I insist he deserves it. And we are very proud to be working at this moment with all these allies.
And that is the reason why he is the president. Okay. You don't have to like everything Donald Trump does. I don't like everything Donald Trump does, but I think about 80 to 90% of it is awesome. Okay. Some stuff I'm like, but you have to have discernment, and you have to understand that there are people that are going to be in your life, or going to be people that you're going to vote for, or people that you know that are going to give you 80% of what you want. The 20% you may not like. Okay. But as long as that majority is there, as long as the majority actually goes for the values that you hold, goes for, the betterment of everybody, including the liberals. Okay. They don't like to say it, but it's everything that we voted for, the liberals will benefit from. Okay. So if that person can do that, then they have my full support. Okay. Even when I don't agree. All right. So with that being said, that's what she had to say. Now let's get into this peace. Okay. Peace in the Middle East. Donald Trump has signed this peace deal. I want to get into what he says during the signing of the deal, and then his speech afterwards. All right. Here we go.
Respect, and we appreciate it very much. Can we get the documents, please? Okay.
You will sign right here.
Okay. Okay. This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too. It's going to hold up. Okay, thank you. You can use my pen if you want. Have a pen.
So they did that. They went around and everybody signed it, right? And this is what Trump had to say right after. Here we go.
And let me also convey my tremendous appreciation for all of the nations of the Arab and Muslim world that came together to press Hamas to set the hostages free and to send them home. We had a lot of help. We had a lot of help from a lot of people that you wouldn't suspect. And I want to thank them very much for that. It's an incredible triumph for Israel and the world to have all of these nations working together as partners in peace. And it's pretty unusual for you to see that, but it happened in this case. This was a very unusual point in time, a brilliant point in time. Generations from now, this will be remembered as the moment that everything began to change, and change very much for the better. Like the USA right now, it will be the golden age of Israel and the golden age of the Middle East. It's going to work together. And let me also convey.
And that's a fact. I agree. Not even world peace can cure Trump derangement. Okay. That TDS goes hard, because here's the thing. You cannot agree with Israel. You can agree that Palestine should be a state, or vice versa, or whatever. Right. But what you can agree on is that we don't want innocent people between two governmental factions, because you have, of course, Bibi, who I'm not very fond of, but you have Bibi, and then you have, of course, Hamas, who I'm not fond of either, of course. So you have these governmental factions, and you have everybody stuck in the middle. You have the Palestinian people who are stuck there. You have the Israeli people who, are stuck there. They having, people snatched up and things like that. It's just absolutely a mess. Right. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to continue seeing that. And I definitely don't want to continue to pay for it. I don't want my tax dollars going to it. I'm America first. Put my money to American babies. Put my money to my children. Put my money back in my pocket. So Donald Trump doing this, to me, is America first. Okay? Get this over with, so we're not spending our hard-earned money on war. Period. I don't care whose side you're on. I don't want to spend my money on it. Absolutely not. And I don't want our babies having to go to war for none of this. None of it. Okay? This is all the way on the other side of the world. No. So I'm absolutely glad that Donald Trump got this done. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, here comes the TDS. However, our favorite TDSer actually made a good point. Here we go.
President Obama put out this post talking about the peace deal and the prospects of it, and Don Jr. responded to it. I'll finish it for you. Thank you, Donald Trump. Honestly, it's not unfair to say if President Obama's going to write a whole post about a peace deal, maybe he should acknowledge the president that.
He absolutely needs to acknowledge the president. Okay? Barack Obama was petty for that one, because he put out a post, and let's back it up a little bit here, because I think she puts it up on the screen. He puts out a post, and he says, after 2 years of unimaginable loss and suffering for Israeli family and the people of Gaza, yada, 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 right? And he gets all the way to the end and says, basic rights for both peoples can achieve lasting peace. Nowhere in here does he talk about how Donald Trump did anything. Absolutely. So Don Jr. goes and says, I'll finish it for you. Thank you, Donald Trump. As they should. Because at the end of the day, Barack Obama, when he does anything, people, give Barack Obama the props, which I don't know what he actually did, but give the props to Barack Obama. Oh, give it to Joe Biden, which is another one they're running with now, because apparently Joe Biden wants some type of credit, or Joe Biden's people want some type of credit. That man will sleep his entire presidency. Please. He will sleep. Okay. The auto pen deserves credit for whatever may have been written. So that was the first time I've ever seen, Trump deranged Abby actually say something worthwhile, even if it was just for a small second. But as we know, her program is also the place for Trump deranged people. And again, this was no different, because now that Hamas has been taken out, why do they still have protests? Why are they still doing rallies? Okay. You have the No Kings rally coming up, and they're protesting down there in Australia and in the UK. You can't make it up. The Trump derangement is wow. So he saves, 8 different types of wars, and they're still calling him a dictator and still saying that he wants to be a king. You can't make it up. Here we go.
It's a rally. It's called No Kings. It's not called the Hate America rally. How ridiculous that is. It's just a rally. And
Have
again,
you been to one of these rallies? Have you seen the signs they carry?
I
Have you seen the signs they carry?
They're all the same.
Impeach, imprison, fascist.
Put her in jail.
Wait, hold on.
These aren't people who aren't exactly rooting for America.
Lance, I don't think that's the domain of Democrats. I don't think that is the exclusive domain of Democrats. Hold on, Lance. I don't think that any of those things you just said are the exclusive domain of Democrats. The current president of the United States campaigned on lock her up and then lock up the person who beat him in the 2020 election. So, but I mean, Kara's point is actually much more basic. It's a protest. It's an anti-Trump protest, but it is a protest, and we are allowed to do that in these United States of America, are we
I
not?
never argued against that.
And
I'm just saying these aren't people who are exactly cheering on America right now.
And it's the
You
second
can't
one.
decry government layoffs on the one hand and say, well, we at least got to keep it closed long enough to have our rally on the other. I mean, it makes you sound disingenuous to be upset.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure where. I mean, look, I'm not sure where Mike Johnson's hearing that, but maybe he's hearing
He
that.
didn't. He made
but,
it up. He made
but
it up.
I also would say that Mike Johnson seems to also be in a different place from the president, because he is saying that this is hurting people. Meanwhile, the executive branch is saying, well, this is our golden opportunity to fire people. So which one is it?
Well, Mike Johnson, I think, is understandably upset. He is the Speaker of the House. They went on the floor, and he led his party to pass a continuing resolution to keep the government open. I think he's enormously frustrated that he can't get Democrats to do the same thing in the United States Senate. He's done his job. They've done their work. The government would be open if Mike Johnson and the Republicans in the House had their way.
I didn't even get to the Hamas of it all.
Yeah.
But I do. I do wonder. I mean, is that called for?
Well, first of all, it's ridiculous. This is not the first No Kings rally, by the way. There was one this summer. So this is the second No Kings rally.
That was
And
stupid.
Speaker Johnson didn't have to refer to Marxists and pro-Hamas. But here's what's interesting. Every time this administration and Speaker Johnson start to lose the argument or get panicked, they push the immigration panic button. That's not getting any traction. So now they're pressing the Marxist panic button, the pro-Hamas panic button. So this is just another way for him to deflect from what's happening. And because people want to peacefully assemble and use their right to express themselves, he's now trying to characterize these as pro-Hamas rallies. That's not what these are. If you've been to these rallies, you will see who's there.
They're just rallies. Also, and if the frogs show up, it should be a parade,
Right, exactly.
right? The Portland frogs. It's just a rally, and it's okay to do that. And
I don't think these people actually watch these rallies. Okay. We've had so many of them here in DC, and they're not pro-America. Okay. They're not America first. Even if you are liberal, you still should be pro-America. You're not pro-America. These rallies are absolutely not pro-America. They have everybody's flag but their own. Okay, they burn the American flag. Meanwhile, they have Mexican flags. Okay, when I'm like, if you love Mexico so much, I go visit. You love Mexico so much, go back to Mexico. No, you don't want to, because you like America. And that's the thing. When you come somewhere else, you respect it. When I go to Mexico, I respect the culture there. Whatever the culture is, I respect it while I'm there. People come here and think they can say and do whatever they want. They can be illegally here. They can be here visiting. And if they don't like Donald Trump, they go and do whatever they want. You can't go and protest in Mexico. Oh, you're not a citizen? You want to protest? Nah, you get deported. And that's absolutely fair. I think that's fair, because at the end of the day, you don't contribute to our society. You're not contributing. You're here illegally. The main reason that Mexico is deporting right now is because you have too many gringos there. Okay. All the gringos are coming down there and they're raising the cost of living with their American dollars to the Mexican peso. So at the end of the day, they understand inflation. They understand GDP. They understand what immigration does. They understand having to change the culture. All the restaurants now changing things to English so the gringos can understand the menu instead of respecting the culture that's there. They do the same thing here. Okay, I speak Espanol, but however, everybody does it. The language here is English. That's not a slight. That's not racist. That is the language of the land. But they change things because so many people here that have came here illegally don't speak English. So people have a right to say, yes, the American culture is being eroded. And they have a right. They're absolutely 100% correct. I wouldn't go to France and do that. I wouldn't go to Mexico and do that. I wouldn't go to any place and try to change their culture. If that's their culture, and you respect it. For some reason in America, just because we have a quote unquote free society, we're allowed to be disrespected. Absolutely not. And that's why these rallies don't make no sense. Because they're not respectful, they're not pro-America, they're not any of that. They're just a bunch of people with no job. Because I don't even know how you can go and do these protests all day, all the time, stand outside all the time. You can be outside of ICE facilities. Like, what do you do? What kind of trust fund do you have that you can do this? Or what are they paying? Okay. Because maybe we need to go down and get on some of these protest rolls. Okay. Maybe that need to be some of these people's side hustles, because there's absolutely no way that you have all these people able to do this. That's why everybody knows it's funded and it's there for a purpose. They try to say Antifa is not real. They're trying to say that these people are not pro-terrorist, which they are. A lot of them are. Okay. At the end of the day, if you're not pro-American, you're allowed to leave, but you don't want to leave. So why not assimilate in the culture? And that's why illegal immigration, that's why letting the border stay open is detrimental to society. But you can't tell these white liberals nothing. You can't tell these TDSers nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay? So, last but not least, disclaimer, we have a TDSer here. I want to show you what they all are doing, even though Donald Trump has done something no president has been able to do. I want to show you what the sentiment is online from Americans. And when they say, oh, people are not anti-American, yes, they are, especially the people on the left.
Arrest him. Arrest him now. What are you motherfuckers so damn scared about? Go wherever that fucking slug is existing and drag his ass out, put handcuffs on him, and throw him in a fucking jail cell. What are you afraid of? For God's sakes, are you so fucking scared for your own little personal life that you're gonna let the rest of the country get totally fucked over? Fuck you too. Democrats, fuck you. There's a handful in there that are actually trying to do something. The rest of you feckless, spineless pieces of shit, we're gonna vote your asses out too. Shame on all you ignorant motherfuckers. Arrest him.
Ethel means business, okay? Ethel is not playing with you guys, okay? I told you there's nothing worse than the liberal white woman, okay? She is not playing with you guys. Y'all Democrats better get it together. She has put y'all on notice. They're going to vote y'all out, which I'm okay with, okay? They're going to vote y'all out, all right? And the progressive wing of the party is going to come in, and y'all going to be socialism to death, okay? That's what's about to happen in New York. That's what's about to happen in California if you guys don't stop it, okay? You got that crazy Katie over there that may win as a governor, okay? She's okay with the boys being in your girls' bathroom. She's okay with giving children hormone blockers and shots and all this other stuff. Like, the crazy wing of the Democrat Party is arising. Okay? And Ethel, okay, she wants to be able to see herself in a position of power. I keep telling you, the fight is with these liberals, okay? The liberals, they are having a fight. But at the end of the day, nothing that Donald Trump can do will make these people happy. Absolutely nothing. She's like, oh, well, while he's doing a peace deal, go over and arrest him. Why? Why would I do that? Why? Why would anybody do that? A man that's actually trying to do a Booker piece, you want to put in the jail. It shows you who the real fascists are. It shows you what these people actually think. It shows you that they don't care. They never cared about free Palestine. They don't care about the Palestinian people, okay? They don't care about them. They don't care about these illegal immigrants. They don't care about them either. They definitely don't care about black people. They don't care about Latino people. They don't care about white men, okay? All they care about is trying to change society to a matriarch. All they care about is trying to reverse the natural order of things. All they care about is being an antagonist to Donald Trump. There's no process, there's no policies, there's absolutely nothing. You ask a Democrat, what do you stand for? Donald Trump is bad. Orange man bad. That's it. Nothing else of substance. This man has at least did a ceasefire. At least people aren't dying. That's got to count for something. But with liberals, it doesn't. Okay? They have convinced themselves that this man is the devil. They have convinced themselves that this man is the worst person on the planet. They have convinced themselves that Donald Trump is equivalent to Hitler, which is stupid. Absolutely dumb. This man has interjected himself in wars and things that he shouldn't, that honestly, I don't think he should even be at. Okay? But he's done it. And he got stuff done. Give the man the credit. Okay? If Raggedy, Joe Biden, and Kamala had done something worthwhile, I would have said, it's a good thing. I don't like them, but the policy is good. But that's because I'm a sane human being. These people are not sane, okay? Most of them, I think, come from the insane asylum. Most of them parents, I think they've had too much Ritalin growing up. At the end of the day, these people don't care. They don't care. And we're not going to be able to do anything about it. That's why normally you don't even pay these type of people any ounce of anything in society. They want you to follow them to the polls. They want you to stroll to the polls if you're black. And just blindly vote for people that mean you know well. Not at all. And to me, that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible of your vote. That's irresponsible of your gender. That's irresponsible of your society. That's irresponsible of being a citizen in your country. So at the end of the day, I think what Donald Trump did with the ceasefire is awesome. And I hope it sticks. I really do. This is the first ceasefire I've seen in my little bit of lifetime. And I hope it sticks because nobody wants to see people the way these people were living on either side. Okay. Like as humans, we have to want better. But I definitely don't want my money going towards it. And I don't want your money going towards it. Okay? So at the end of the day, let's give Donald Trump his credit. And I hope liberals can find it in themselves to just put down the phone for the week and let bygones be bygones. That is my thought. That is my opinion. And nobody can change it. As my hat says in the back, Trump is always right. So you guys get down in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about all of this stuff that we talked about today. What do you think about Donald Trump and the ceasefire? What do you think about Gaza? What do you think about the Palestine? You know, being able to go back to whatever. Okay, because I know it's just like rubble. What do you think about the hostages being released in Israel and, you know, those people getting to see their loved ones, even the ones that aren't alive. You know, they're getting the bodies back. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Also, let me know what you think about Don Limon and his awful takes and lemon drops. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about the shootings. Let me know what you think about all of this stuff that we talked about today, even Ratchet Crockett and Tiffany Cross. Okay. Let me know what you think about them as well. Because I'm telling you, these people, if you let them, will give you a headache. Because after I'm on this live with you guys, I got to go take all types of Tylenol. Be like the women on the internet when they was mad at Trump. You guys, thank you so much. Let me go ahead and read the super chats, and then I'm going to get you guys up out of here. The Genius with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Hair flip. You know it. Look, the only reason I flip my hair is because a lot of the times, all this talking and movement I do, it starts to get in my face and I get annoyed. So that's why I do that. But it is what it is. Thank you so much. Brown Eyes, thank you so much, love, with the $10 super chat. Great job as always, Mika. Thank you so much. And did you email me? Did you email me? Because I was looking for your email over the weekend. Email me if you haven't. Okay. I got to look through all those emails, but email me if you haven't. Okay. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. And Executive Suite MLE, Q the Executive, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. DJ T, being in office has exposed just how dumb most people are. Absolutely. People are fighting tooth and nail against their best interest. The media is complicit. We definitely know that. And I 100% agree with you. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you to everybody. Executive Suite, Brown Eyes, the Genius CEO, Jeffrey Rice, Spaces, Rod, the one and only, Haitian Lover. That's wow name. Jay the Legend, 392Q, C Will, Ali. Thank you all so much for super chatting. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody that pulled up. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Matthew, Nick J, Artifacts. Thank you, Mike, that dude on Cash App. I didn't forget this time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Frankie. Rada Only. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Trice, Outlaw. Hey. JG, JB, ATL, Loud and Clear, Mika Lucas, Alicia, who else? Mandy K, Die, Original Zombie Music. Thank you so much. MC 007, J Thurbo. I think I said that right. If I didn't, correct me. Thank you so much for pulling up. C, Super Tim. Who else we got in here? Sugar Shane. Thank you so much. Jay Owens. Your car, as always. He better know. Okay. Thank you so much. Nomi B. Thank you. Mr. Jackson. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Who else we got in here? I'm trying to get some of you guys. Who else? Randall Ike. Who else? Who else? Who else? Zach. Thank you. Magnificent Gaming. KLS. Chris Monroe. Thank you. I see some new faces too. Thank you guys for pulling up. I appreciate it. I think I got a good chunk of you guys. So look, thank you so much for pulling up. Thank you guys for always tuning in. It's your girl Mika. Every Monday we're going to be here doing this live stream. Thank you so much. Again, I appreciate you. It's your girl Mika. And I'm out. Hold on. Make sure I don't miss no comments. Holla at Dre. Thank you. Think I got everybody? Ian, thank you so much. And I'm out. Peace.